Welcome. This is a unboxing of Compass Games World in Flames Fatal Alliances. This game has been out for a number of years, and of course its heritage is obvious. It's based on the World in Flames system by Australian Design Group, but now we're taking it to World War I, and this is actually the second implementation of that. We'll see that in a second on the site, but we'll do a quick flip it over here on the back. Take a look. Hopefully you can see that. Got a new setup here. Fatal Alliances, worthy partner to World in Flames, all encompassing. It represents every theater. Looks like the Pacific is here too, of World War I, diplomatic and civilian. When we think of the First World War, miles of static trenches, Western Front, but theaters in the Middle East, Russia, the Balkans, and even Africa were very dynamic, and at the end, the Western Front at times too. So here you take basically the role of one of the nations, and you fight both in Europe and far-flung colonies across the world. Let's take a look down here. Playing time, 20 plus hours. Complexity 6 out of 10. Okay, that's reasonable. Solitaire suitability 6 out of 10. 680 playing pieces, and we do see a number of maps. 232 by 23 and 116 by 35 here. So 2 to 6 players, Army Corps, Division, 50 to 250 aircraft, 2 to 5 ships. Map scale 100 kilometers per hex Europe, and then the other map 600, the rest of the world. Time scale is 1 to 4 weeks, and you need 2 10-sided dice. Alright, great. Let's put this back here. And before I open it, let me go ahead and take a look. I want to go ahead and take a look at the Compass Games site. And this is the actual site right now, and when I'm doing this recording right now, it is on sale for a pretty hefty price. From the retail of $134, it's down at $70. I don't know how long the sale will last, but if you listen to this soon, hopefully you'll, if you're interested, you'll get a chance to purchase it, or you get a chance to go out and buy it. Pretty much what I just read from the back, except it's 1,680 counters. Okay. There it is, low to medium. So that's okay. Medium for solitaire. They're saying on the website, strategic. Pretty much backs up everything we said before. Components, 6 counter sheets. We'll be looking at that in a second. And this is a good website here. Steve, and I hope Dolgus, I hope I pronounced that right, has done a number of playthrough videos using the Vassal mod, and given instruction on how to play the game. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, rules are updated as of 2018. We got some scenarios and walkthroughs. There's the Vassal mod, counter errata, consolidated rules errata, which I think with the rules in 2018, I think this will probably incorporate it. So, good resources online. Again, it's on sale. Coming over and looking at the BGG site, just a little background on this game. Actually, it says it re-implements Fatal Alliances 2, which came out in 1994. Australian Design Group. And it looks like from the pictures, they basically, if I understand this, 600 counters, World in Flames 4th edition European map, World War I map overlay, rules and charts to then use a Australian Design Group's World in Flames with World War I. And the counters, well, that looks very similar to World in Flames. We'll see what the reprint did here. This is Compass Games, decided in let's see, 2000s I think it was, to re-implement this and basically give it everything, its own counters, its own maps, its own rules, etc. So that's our setup. There's some videos here. We'll pop out here and look at Steve's videos in a second, but let's go ahead and switch back to the game box itself. Hopefully I'm getting proficient at this. And my droid cam just timed out. So that's probably not a good idea to do this in the future. Let's see, gotta pause it here. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that, working out the kinks on this setup I'm trying to use here. So here's the actual game from Compass Games. Let's go ahead and open it up and take a look. Let's see, first two 10-sided dice, one black, one white, and then one book here, rules and scenarios. So put this aside. Well, let's just keep going through here. Looking at the number of pages, we got some charts on the back. Let's see how many pages we got here. Yeah, rules towards the end. Balloons and Zeppelins, 51 pages, almost to the end. That's a nice handy look. So it looks like almost 54 pages here. And a nice counter definitions here. And I think they mixed in the scenario somewhere in there too. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, here we go. We've got the 22. We got setup and starting game. So sorting counters, and they've got the 14 campaign and the 1917 campaign. And that's pretty much it. Reinforcement, initiative, declaring war, actions. If you're familiar with World in Flames, then you should be okay to apply this. So we may come back and look at this in a second. Here we've got a setup chart for the different USA, Austria-Hungary, Italy. Yeah, it looks like it's got the type of units up here along the top. Then you bring it down and it tells you how many. So for example, 20 infantry units for the Russians here. We got France, CW, Russia, Japan. This looks like the Entente, however you pronounced it. Okay, the back side. We have their 1917 setup also on the back here. Oh, but there's Germany. So they did slip it in. So it looks like this is all of them. Yep, this is complete. So setup charts for 1914 and 1917. Got a morale and political chart, so apparently knocking countries out due to morale is a possibility. Yeah, this must be the Russian track maybe that has a revolution here. Different allies. Nothing on the back of that, so you're gonna track morale. Allied side, Central Powers. Yep. Then we've got your standard. This I think was on the back of the rules. The combat results. And the modifiers. Blitz mod. A lot of notes here. And yeah, this was also in the rules, but this is handy too. Your unit descriptions. Wow. Dreadnought. Ship units. So it's probably got naval rules. Figure that out. You've also got aircraft. These are the naval, land, aircraft, and artillery. Yep. And the standard markers. That could be helpful. And any strategic game, it looks like, will have its production chart. Looks like a common chart for all sides. That's what I'm guessing right now. Impulse track, initiative track. Oh, that's interesting. Why do they have years before 1914? I wonder if there's a variant in the rules for that. So let's see. In the back side, that's what I'd expect. Oh, and then we have some really detailed charts here. Two-sided. We have naval combat, allowable actions, major power limits, air combat, bombing and strategic warfare, how to track morale, politics. Yeah. U.S. entry, obviously, weather chart, weather effects, production, factories, resources, a lot of detail, even partisan chart here. That's pretty good. And now the counter sheets. Let's see. Take a look at that. They're reasonably not too thick, but not too thin. Let's see if I have these in order. I don't think there's numbers on it. That's okay. 2015. So we are starting out right away with the U.S. here. Infantry, looks like motorized infantry, aircraft, a lot of ships. And then we've got some markers down here. Then we have the Commonwealth. That would be the Brits. Hopefully you can see it without the glare here. Let's see if I can make that go away. No, it's coming from above. I'll have to deal with that some other. Let's see. Oh yeah, and the Brits are going to have a lot of ships. Yep. We got their infantry units, air units. Okay. Then the next one we have the Russians and in Ottomans. Wow, an interesting purple. And Italy. Okay. Again, Russians have ships, infantry, aircraft, artillery. Ottoman even have some aircraft and ships. Italians, they have their own fleet. This I'm guessing, well, let's see what the colors they picked here. Yeah, this is France, blue. Austria-Hungary in white. Okay. And then down here, well, Venezuela. Oh, that's interesting. Empire of China. China. Okay, so we have China in this. Here are the Germans. Big counter sheet here for the Germans. And yeah, we have the High Seas Fleet, infantry, aircraft. Yep, and they do look like World in Flames. And I think this red is a Japanese. It appears to be. I think if I'm reading it right. Yeah, we've got Japan, we've got Spain. We've got some other ones. I do need my light now. That's Ukraine. Yep. Netherlands, Sweden. Okay. Looks like Poland and the Japanese. So, and Ireland, Argentina. Okay, truly a world war here. So that's the counters. Good solid sets. Yeah, I believe 1,680. So let's take a look at the maps here. We have 3 maps. Just doing a quick look here. Yeah, this looks like the Pacific and the Middle East, and then these two are the 100. Yeah, this is 600 kilometers per hex, and I think this is 100. So let's go ahead and look at this one first. Let's see if I can get this to fit on the whole screen. Yeah, interesting arrangement here. Yep, oh, that's good. You can see the whole thing here. So yeah, it's got to be 600. We've even got the United States, South America, so this is truly the whole world, just in a different scale. Japan, China. These mountain colors they chose for World in Flames. This is the same as World in Flames, kind of look a little different. So, this is the rest of the world. Terrain effects chart here. Looks like we've got some tracks over there. So we do have, sorry about that, good part of the world. Now let's look at the, obviously the European front here. And let's see, I pulled Russia first, it looks like. Be interesting to compare these to the regular World in Flames maps. Yeah, here's Kursk. Moscow is right here. Same format here. We got Poland. Flip it over, and I'm expecting to see the Mideast. Yep. Here we see we've got Turkey, we've got the Balkans, we got Greece, we got Libya, Egypt, and some tracks there. So it's pretty standard. And then finally we've got the western part of the battle in the end. Yep, here's Germany. Let's see if we can get a bigger. Yep, there's UK, France, Belgium, the Low Countries, Germany, Switzerland, all mountains. And then there's Africa kind of condensed here. The lower part of Africa, but then we've got the rest of Africa here, Algeria, Italy, Spain. So all done in the style of the World in Flames here. So there you go. You've got a good look now at the maps. It does cover the whole world. Number of counters, and I think it was 7. 1, 2. Nope, 6. 6 counter sheets. Pretty good coverage there. Some very colorful charts. Player aid charts, pretty handy. And then of course our pretty much 50 pages of rules here. So I would imagine 6 out of 10. Gonna have to do a little work. But if you're familiar with World in Flames, apparently it parallels a lot. Yep, there's the rules. Table of contents. So, politics, aircraft, morale, offensive points, cooperation, minor countries, other rules. Okay. Interesting. Schlieffen Plan, balloons, Anzac, fortifications. So, looks like a good production there. A lot of maps. That's Fatal Alliances. And like I said, there is a vassal mod if you're used to doing that to play it on the computer. And again, there are some YouTube videos on how to play it. Let's go ahead and go back to the screen here and take a look here. Yeah, I'm just on the BGG site. I think this is part of his YouTube site. Yeah, here we go. There's a lot of videos there. Part 1, overview and simple air combat. Part 2, complex air and land combats. Turn 1, political actions, peace phase, morale. Yeah, it looks like he's covering everything. This looks pretty handy here. So, definitely take a look at this if you are going to learn the game. When I decide to take this game on, I am definitely going to be looking at this YouTube site. So, also here we are taking a quick look at the Vassal mod. And this is the 1914 setup, or at least setup has to be done here. There is a lot, well, that's the Royal Navy, for example. So they have a lot of ships to set up here. We've got the French and their Navy. Italians are in the game here, we see. And there's Austria-Hungary. There, of course, is Germany. They don't have, well, there's the High Seas Fleet. I think there's some units off board. There may be a chart to look at. Setup chart. Here we got the Russians. And nice colors for the Ottomans. And I think that brings us to the end of that board, but they also have the world. Whoa, sorry, it's on my other screen here. It's pretty big. I don't know if I can resize it. It's not sizing. Let's see. Try and make this a little smaller. Well, I'll do this. That's pretty big. There are the Japanese, Chinese, I believe some British and Ottoman. No, it's German units there. Yep, in Africa. And then we do have the U.S. not in the game initially, but they do have a fleet here, so pretty well represented here. Let's see if anything else of interest. I think we've got, yeah, these are some force pool charts for each of the units. This looks like where some of the units are for the Germans. And the production chart, yep, we can see that that is used by all sides apparently here. Initiative. You have to jump into the 1914 and 1917. We got force pools for all the major powers. We've even got, yeah, here's a morale chart. Looks like it's common for all. A lot of countries in here. That's good. Alright, so, and I think that's everything here, no charts. So, this looks a pretty handy way to play it too, if you don't have the space to put it out on the table. So, like I said, there's a vassal mod for that. I'll go ahead and close that. And we will end here on Compass Games website, like I said, on sale. $70. This is November 1st of 2022. Don't know how long that'll be. And then got some handy resources here too. So again, so this was a review or unboxing and review of online resources for Fatal Alliances, The Great War, Compass Games, based on World in Flames. So hopefully that was helpful in making you decide whether you want to buy it or not. Thanks for listening, and see you at the next one.